everyone, welcome to News Generation. My name is Ifwa. Coming up in this edition, children who use the footbridge at Kolegono are afraid. We'll tell you why. A special video technology is being used in Ghana for the first time to make documentaries featuring young people. We bring you insight into the use of this technology called the Ocular Rift. And we take a trip to the Americas where we find out what young people in Nicaragua and Bolivia get up to. All these and more coming up on this edition of News Generation. Please stay with us. News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid.
You can join us on social media as well. Find us on facebook.com/newsgenerationgh. We are also on Twitter at newsgengh. And on to our first story, where some children in Jamestown and Kolegono fear for their lives. This is because their bridge they cross to and from school has become a dangerous walkway.
School is over and it's time to go home. But these young people trekking have to cross this bridge. But the bridge is not safe. The metal fence that is supposed to protect these young ones is rusting away. And the pavement on the bridge is in a bad state.
It has been like this for almost 3 years. Sometimes when we are passing, some of us cannot pass the bridge because we are afraid we will fall into the Kole Lagoon. The bridge is not well.
If I'm walking alone, I feel comfortable, but if I'm walking with my colleagues, at times we try to make fun of each other.
The bridge is not good. Sometimes it has been passing here to the roadside. The drivers have been insulting us not to pass on the roadside, but to pass on the bridge. Sometimes we are afraid to pass there. So every day we have been passing here.
These school children always go home together. They say the bridge is too narrow for them. So they say they are sometimes forced to use the road. That exposes them to speeding vehicles. They want authorities to construct a larger pedestrian walkway on this lagoon.
I think the government should help to change the metals. As you can see, there is a rusted edges there which can hurt people.
I want them to do the bridge wall so that we can walk there. Well, so that we will feel comfortable not to pass on the roadside.
I think it's not large enough. I think they should increase the path for the students to enjoy walking on it.
So you've heard from your friends, and we are hoping authorities will do something about this bridge. Do you have any issue in your area that is bothering you? Remember, you can always tell us, write to us on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/newsgenerationgh. Now, a special video technology has been developed as a platform for documentaries. It's called the Ocular Rift, and it is a video application that works on Android phones. It's a smartphone. And for the first time in Ghana, the tech application has been used to make a documentary. Shay Adam witnessed the shooting of a documentary in Wa by filmmakers from Plan, Netherlands.
Most of these young adults and much younger ones travel from their communities to Accra to seek employment. Unfortunately, they end up on the streets of the city, selling and carrying heavy loads. And all this is as a result of poverty and lack of proper education. But Ghanaian authorities and development partners have not done enough to help people from the 3 northern regions. So Plan Netherlands and Plan Ghana want to tell the story of these young girls.
We are here to learn about mobile phone repairs.
Marais Van Hoek is a manager of the Ocular Rift project. She says they want to carry a message to people in authority.
So what we know is young people need training, equipment, start capital, but also the right mindset to find a job and to create a job. And we want them, the policymakers, to be aware of those four factors of success, and we want them to take action and make sure that enough money goes to activities that creates job opportunities for young people.
Lisa Bost is the producer of the interactive video. She tells us how they came by the storyline.
The plan asked us to make an interactive video, and they gave us some research because they did some interviews with children here and women and the youth in Plangana, in Wa. And we read the research, and we thought of a storyline, like a script, that we could use. The story is about a Ghanaian girl who lives in a village, and she has the decision to go to the city or stay in the village. Once she decides to go to the city, it's actually quite of a bad choice, because she probably end up homeless or selling stuff at the traffic lights. And she decides to stay in the village. She gets a plant training, and she has an opportunity to get a better future. So she can start her own business or apply for a job.
But this documentary is different. It is not going to be played on television or home DVD. Derek and Enrique are the technical men of the interactive video. They explain how the video will be used on this special cardboard.
The basic idea is to have more field of vision. If we have 3 cameras, then we can cover about half of the vision. The more vision we have, then the most our users can explore the video. One of the main ideas to have a wide shot is because the film is made for virtual reality media.
It's not on a screen. It's on a phone. You can use it on a phone. It's for Android phones, and the idea is that you can see through the eyes of a girl in Ghana on her way to make a good living, to find a good job. So that's how you use it. You put it in a cardboard holder. You can put on your eyes. You put the phone in and put it against your eyes, and then the movement of your head reacts to the video. So if you have to make a decision in the video, or if you want to see something else in the video, you can do that by moving your head.
Isn't that so cool? Anyway, time for WhatsApp. And most schools, basic and secondary, were built and run by Christian missionaries a long time ago. But government has since taken over the management of the schools. Now, the various missions are demanding government returns the schools to them because they don't feel the state is doing such a good job of managing the schools. It's been a long-running debate, so we want to know what you think about it. To return or not to return? Your views on WhatsApp.
I think that the government should hand over the schools to the missions because of infrastructural reasons. For example, sometimes the government are not able to attend to infrastructural problems, maybe with buildings or something of that sort. So maybe if they are handed to the mission schools, they will be able to take care of it better because they will not have so many schools to be able to take care of. But the government has other schools to implement policies in it. By so doing, it takes quite some time before they are able to implement infrastructure in other schools. So I think that they should be handed to the mission schools because they will be able to handle the infrastructure parts better.
In terms of the development of the schools in the infrastructure, they don't have the funds that the governments can provide to develop the schools. They will not be able to provide such funds because they sometimes seek funds from the government before they develop some of their projects. And in terms of the syllabus as well, their syllabus will be based on like Christian religious stuff, but they will have Muslim students and other
religious students in the class who may leave the school because of their Christian studies, or even will not be able to cope in class.
I think the government should hand over the missionary schools to their missions, because the missions can take care of them religiously, because when they join the missionaries in their schools, they develop the students physically and spiritually by teaching them the good morals of the missions.
In my opinion, I think that the government should hand it over to the missions so that they can have more time to train their students, because they have more than enough time. They can develop their tools and infrastructure so that they can bring them up morally and physically.
I think the government should hand over the schools to the missionaries, because the government appointed people to supervise schools don't have the time to take care of this and to supervise them very well. But if they are handed over to the missionaries, they will have the effective time to take care of this and to supervise the students very well for the proper development of the school and for the country, so the country will develop very well.
I don't think the school should be given back to the missions, because there may be some pagans or non-Christians among the schoolgoers, and if they are in the mission schools which are run by the missions, they will be forced to adopt Christian practices, and some may even leave the school because of that and end up being academically challenged. So I think it shouldn't be handed over to them.
Your very interesting views on WhatsApp. Now, still on the subject of school, many Ghanaian children of school-going age are unable to read or write in English. Research has shown it is because some of them do not understand the language that they are being taught in. So the Education Service has allowed local languages in some schools to start them up first. Here is a story of something similar. It's a weekday afternoon at the Special Attention Project Center in Kaneshie. There's a special lesson ongoing. 12-year-old street girl Jennifer Mate is learning how to read and write.
The things I learn in this way stick in my mind. Today, I learned how to pronounce ada, ada, and da. I believe learning like this will help me remember anything I am taught.
First, she will study in Twi and hopefully will be able to transfer what she learns in the local language to English.
What sound did you look at? The. Okay. So from the start of the booklet, we learned that we can see someone sleeping. Yes. And to know how to spell sleep in the Twi dialect, we have to use our sounds. The and into the ne ebema ending. Ada. Ebema enda into
It's all part of a project to get more children in school reading and writing.
We thought that children can learn to read better in their local language. We chose Twi because it covers a larger geographical area. A lot of the children speak Twi. And we also realized that Twi is a phonetic. It is more practicable. The children are more familiar with the language, so they can learn to read better in Twi than in English. So there's a saying that if the children can learn the way you teach them the way they learn. We realize that this is another key way you can help children to learn to read in their own language. By that, we are also promoting mother tongue literacy as proposed by UNESCO and currently the government of Ghana.
Teacher Moses Obuobi is also taking his student, 14-year-old David Ejekum, through his lessons.
My name is David Ejekum. I am 14 years old.
I learned I'm getting what I'm taught. For instance, if I read the Bible and I don't understand, at least I learn to respect.
teacher Obuobi says since he started using the project to teach the kids last October, he has seen a significant improvement in how these young people learn. And Jennifer and David hope they will be able to get some basic education studying here. Time to find out what life is like for some young people in Nicaragua and Bolivia. We'll do that after the break. Welcome back to News Generation. Remember, you can always catch up with us on social media. We're on facebook.com/NewsGenerationGH. We are also on Twitter @NewsGenGH. Now, it's time to see what kids in other parts of the world are up to. And we go to Nicaragua, where 80% of Nicaraguan families don't have a proper home to live in. Nicaragua is one of the poorest countries in Latin America. Often there's no running water, electricity, toilet or sewage system. Christopher and Maria live there and they tell us what life like that is like.
I live with my grandmother, my father, 2 brothers and my sisters. My father and I sleep together. 2 of my brothers sleep together and my sister sleeps in another room. Our house was built for my father, my brother and my mom. I would like to have a big house with a second floor with several rooms, 2 bathrooms, windows, sound and video equipment, a refrigerator, a floor and stairs.
My home is modest. We don't have a lot of things. We improvised some rooms where 2 to 3 people can sleep. I dream of having a good house so that my whole family can fit in there. To have a nice TV, my own room, my own bed. For now, I feel comfortable in my house having what I have, but I am sure I will have a better and nicer house to support my mother.
Teniendo lo que tenga, pero yo estoy segura que voy a lograr hacer que mi casa sea de pared y apoyar a mi mamá.
Buena, 1 libra de azúcar.
I would like to be a business manager, to earn a good salary to support my mother and to have my dream house.
La casa de mis sueños, pues.
Life in Nicaragua, everybody. Let's take a look at some more stories now in a roundup.
Lots of mangoes are going bad in the Bonoafu region because there are no proper storage facilities. The farmers are not happy about the situation and have come up with a suggestion. They want government to set up a juice factory in the region so they stop losing the mangoes they produce. Burundi's government has asked its people to donate money to help with controversial elections planned for June. The appeal for funds were made on the government's official Facebook page after the European Union said it will withhold more than $2 million of funding for the elections. There have been weeks of violent protests and a failed coup against President Pierre Nkurunziza's bid for a 3rd term. Money to carry out the elections were already running low, as Belgium has also suspended funding. The EU said it will withhold the money unless conditions for a free, peaceful and credible election are secured. Poachers have killed nearly half of Mozambique's elephants for their ivory in the past 5 years, says the Wildlife Conservation Society. The campaign group estimates there has been a 48% decline in elephant numbers from just over 20,000 to around 10,300. The poachers are reported to come from Tanzania, where the elephant population has already been destroyed. 2 criminal investigations into corruption at football's governing body FIFA are underway after 7 senior officials were arrested in Zurich on US charges. Separately, Swiss prosecutors launched a criminal case into the bids for the 2018 and 2022 World Cups to be held in Russia and Qatar. 9 football officials are among 14 people indicted on corruption charges. FIFA plans to go ahead with elections for its next president on Friday. Sepp Blatter was not one of those arrested. FIFA Zurich headquarters has also been raided, with electronic data and documents seized. Nigeria and Liverpool forward Asisat Oshola has been named as the BBC Women's Footballer of the Year. The 20-year-old forward is the first player to win the new award from the BBC, voted for by football fans around the world. Asisat, who was the youngest player to be shortlisted, said the honor was a big boost for Nigeria before the World Cup and would help inspire young players in her homeland. Scientists are planning to ship ice to the Antarctic. They are afraid that mountain glaciers around the world are melting as a result of climate change and want to store samples of ice in a new vault in the coldest place on Earth. Stored safely in a giant frozen trench, the ice cores can simply be sealed in bags 10 meters below the surface, where the temperature is steady at -50 degrees Celsius. A watch technology that can identify a person by the veins inside their skin is being developed. BioWatch contains a tiny camera that takes a photo of your wrist and stores a snapshot of your blood vessels. The watch then checks that your vein matches the photo every time you put it on. That could stop imposters from accessing private information on a smartwatch if they put it on. BioWatch technology isn't available to buy yet, but the company is working with smartwatch manufacturers to include the technology in future watches.
Not sure I would want to wear a watch that can read my veins. Strange. Anyway, we'll tell you how some people are making house chores cool after the break. And we are back. Let's talk about house chores. They can be a bit boring, huh? Yeah, tell me about it. Anyway, a group of choreographers added a bit of music to chores and everyday activities to create a fun video, and that's what's trending.
Take me there, to take me there. Oh, babe, you got more love to give, baby. Oh, babe, you got more love to give, baby. Oh, babe, you got more love to give, baby. Oh, babe, you got more love to give,
And that's how we wrap up on this edition of News Generation. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, you can always find us on social media, facebook.com/newsgenerationgh, also on Twitter @newsgengh. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid.